Good afternoon. Today is Monday, the 8th of September, 2025. It is 5:33 p.m. and I have just started our Monday and Wednesday 5:30 class recording. Let me share the screen so that we run the update very quickly on our common document. So basically, last week was a speaking class meant to be a relaxed week so that we could just speak and go over whatever to rest a little bit from grammar and writing because this and the next week will be very, very intense. Okay. I am doing my best to go over the plan today. So I would try to be as quick as I can. So basically, last week was for speaking, and I fostered all students to work on the specific vocabulary because we are going to start writing introductions today. What brings me to today, Monday and Tuesday classes, you know they are always the same. We are going to work on this document here. And I must remember everybody that there are no classes on Wednesday and Thursday because we have a holiday on September 11th, where I live. And because of that, I will make everybody work asynchronously so that everybody has the opportunity to write and to share their documents with me. Very important, people. Um, every time I ask you to share your document with me, please do so. Let's imagine, just by a chance, that I ask for the documents on Monday and I ask for the documents on Wednesday again. Do it, because this way you are never gonna be you will always be in the correct position for your corrections. Okay, and that's basically it. We can all click on this document here, please. Summer 2024 course introduction training. And we will divide the class into 3 parts. First part, we do these exercises. No, sorry. Close your eyes. Okay. So we are going to do these exercises individually. Try to be quick. And we are going to watch a video because the video focus on TOEIC. And then we are going to start writing only introductions. So let's start right away with this. You can all click there. And you will have 3 minutes. Remember, all the activities are timed, especially Gabriel, because he's new. I don't remember if he knows that or not. So every time we are timing in an activity, everybody should be working on that, meaning that everybody watching should be doing the same thing. As this is very short time, I'm not going to unshare the screen. I will have everything at screen at the moment. Off you go. Okay, guys, more than enough, right? But some students watching may need the right time that is provided. Just a moment. All right, guys. Sorry about that, but the house is full and it is hard. Let's go. We are 1, 2, 3, 4. And I would like Jorge to tell me the introduction color.
Orange or yellow or whatever.
Yeah, orange or yellow. Okay, Anna, what's paragraph number 2? Sorry, what's body paragraph 1?
Paragraph 1 for me.
What is paragraph 2 for you? So this is introduction.
Okay.
Body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, body paragraph 3, and conclusion.
Paragraph 2, yellow.
So this is yellow for you.
Yes.
Okay. Gabriel, where does the yellow paragraph belong on your opinion?
On the 4th place.
And Gabriel is correct. Okay. This is the 4th paragraph. So I will give Jorge the second opportunity. Jorge, which do you think? It is the introduction paragraph, not the yellow one as you thought.
The purple one.
Now you were correct. So which one of the 5 paragraphs is the most general and is not explaining anything? Only the purple one. They mention preventing rotting. They mention preventing or stopping bad breath. And they mention that a smile looks great. This paragraph is only mentioning. That's what the introduction is for. And although only mentioning seems not enough, it is the most important part of your text, because everything happening in here will be originated in your introduction or by your introduction. Now, Anna, if the yellow one is not the second, which one of those is?
The second is pink.
The second is pink. And you are correct. As a consequence, Gabriel is the paragraph 2.
Sorry, can you repeat?
Which one is body paragraph 2?
Paragraph 2, you already say it's the pink one, no?
Paragraph 2.
I'm not sure I'm not understanding the question, sorry.
So which one is paragraph number 3 for you?
Oh, number 3, right, okay. The blue one.
Wait. And it is correct. Consequence, green is the conclusion. So I am using the vocabulary that is causing a bit of confusion, for example, for Gabriel, because everybody is used to say paragraph 1, 2, 3, 4. But split them up, their order. So the first paragraph is always the introduction, and the last is always the conclusion. And do you remember that our text is made of intro, body, conclusion? So when we mention paragraph or body paragraph 1, body paragraph 2, body paragraph 3.
Okay. I see,
Okay?
sorry.
So for example, no, don't be sorry. This is very specific, and I am already probably too much into TOEIC that I forget that other examinations mention them differently. It is all right. So in the video, they will use that kind of vocabulary as well. Okay? So why is this the first one? It's not the first student that chooses the yellow one here. So I already said this is the only one that mentions things without any explanation. Very important. We don't explain anything in the introductions. Never. And we don't explain anything in the conclusions either. Never. In the introduction, we mention. In the conclusion, we give our opinion in a very precise and decisive way. Okay? So these are the main characteristics of our introductions and conclusions. All explanations are provided in the body paragraphs, always. So that we avoid or we do two tasks. The first task, organizing the text. The second task, not falling into repetition. We don't want to be repetitive. We want to engage our reader so that they feel motivated enough to continue. All right? Questions so far? Okay. So let's go to the second exercise. In here we have paragraphs A, B, C, D, E. They are scrambled. Is the order to write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, 1 is always introduction, 5 is always conclusion. And only after you choose the order for the paragraphs, ignoring the options that you have, then you can choose the correct words that are presented in bold. All right? And now I am going to share only the timer because you will need 5 minutes. If you finish before, let's give the students watching the time they can be provided. That is a maximum of 5 minutes. All right? Let's go. And remember, if you have something not clear when you do your TOEIC examination, there is no punishment for wrong answers. So never leave a blank. Let's go. Just a second. Let me finish something here. Just a moment. Where am I? Where am I? Here. All right. Let's go. What order do you have? Maybe we should ask for the order for the three of you. So, Jorge, what order do you have?
C, B, A, E, D.
Okay, so
C,
C,
D, B, A, E, D.
okay. Anna,
C, B, E, A, D.
say that again. C, B, D, A.
No, C, B, E, A, D.
And Gabriel.
C, A, E, B, and D.
C is the introduction. That's correct. E is body paragraph 1. So nobody is correct. 3, body paragraph 2. This is paragraph, body paragraph 2. This is body paragraph 3. And this is the conclusion. Wait. So if I were a student struggle with this kind of exercise, what would be the best thing to do? Start by the last one. Okay, so in this case, everybody decided that this was the second paragraph, right?
No, I choose
Apart
A,
from
yes.
apart from Gabriel, yeah, you said that this was number 2. Okay, it is much easier to see if we analyze the text brought together. I think this makes it a bit clearer. Okay? No, I didn't write it. I didn't join it yet. Okay, didn't join it yet because I am going to paste the answers tomorrow, as Monday and Tuesday are the same. So I didn't mount the text together yet. So maybe I can't. Before the explanations that will be pasted tomorrow. Just a moment. Allow me. I'm sorry, but I don't know how to work quicker, as you probably know. That's true. Three. Four. And 5. Normally, ordering the body paragraphs can be a little tricky, and the students may say, but what if I wanted to say that before? Just because I preferred that topic. You can organize the text as you would like, of course you can. But if they present the text for you like this, you have to follow the sequence. And we can locate the words or phrases that are going to indicate what you are supposed to do. Why is this my introduction? There are no explanations in here. Why is this my conclusion? Because obviously I have a transitional concluding expression. To or in conclude. In this case, I have already pasted the answers here for you. Why is it to conclude and not in conclude? Because this is a bare infinitive. If it were a noun, conclusion, then I could use in conclusion. Then, why this is paragraph, body paragraph 1, 2, and 3. So many people choose to have this operation, these operations. There is no doubt they can be for medical or psychological reasons. Are these reasons? What does he mention here? I wonder why. So I need reasons. Okay, then blah, blah. Operations conducted every year that most patients are not in this category. What category? What category? The ones that need medical or psychological reasons. So if they are not in this category, in what category are they? Category of people about the way they look. Explanation, blah, blah. Hope surgery will make it easier for them to make friends or to get a good job. Is this an extension? So they hope something, blah, blah. Mention them again here. People, these people, blah, blah. Explanation again. And to conclude, which is the easiest part, I finish saying that what I would personally do to explain it. To conclude the essay. So in the case of having everything mounted already, you must obey an order, and that order will be, if you analyze, okay? Tomorrow, everything will be posted in this order into this document here, and you will have explanations of every paragraph, especially the ones, the second part of the exercise, that is to choose the correct words. So I have underlined options. And now we can go for this correction. There have been, there is no doubt, for example, however, category, this can cause, and to conclude. I have already said that this is the infinitive, right? But what about the others? This one, I will read the explanation. There have been many recent reports because the subject reports is not at the standard position of this at the sentence. As this regards a non-human subject, it requires the proper conjugation of the verb there to be. And here I add something else. Be careful with the timelines. If you want to use there to be, pay special attention to what timeline you are using to begin your email. So present, past, perfect, and present perfect, and past perfect. Let's imagine we are talking about something current, artificial intelligence. There are lots of debate in the international community about the uses of artificial intelligence in primary schools. This is a current happening. But what happens if I talk about slavery? We know that still slavery happening in some remote places. And I want to believe they are not happening as much as they happened before. So I could say that there had been many countries making use of slave force. But nowadays, this has changed thanks to the human rights, whatever. So again, depending on how you want to begin your essay using this kind of structure, you have to be very conscious of the timeline you are going to use. Okay? Then, there is no doubt is similar to the previous one. And then we start with the however. Here and but here. Why is it however here? Simply because of the comma. Goes followed by the comma. But goes normally preceded by a comma or semicolon. Here you have the semicolon. Here you have the comma. It's just because of this. Because the meaning is the same. Pero. Whatever you prefer. Okay? And I think that's the most important part of the explanations. The rest of the exercise is really not that difficult. Everybody knows that the relative pronoun for people is who, for example, etc. Okay? Questions? Okay? So, again, we are going to paste this tomorrow evening. Unfortunately, I have one more boring exercise before we watch the video. Now, you have 6 sentences. This is safe for me. It is already in order. One sentence per blank. Have 2 sentences left. You have 5 minutes. All right. Enough time, right? Okay. What do you think? Gabriel, give me the order.
B,
B,
F,
3,
A, and D.
and D. Jorge, do you agree? Or is there something different?
I agree.
Anna, do you agree? Or is there something different?
I
Sorry,
agree.
is there anything different?
I agree.
And okay, all of you are correct. Only one thing that I want to make sure to mention, because this is after the importance of the introduction, this is crucial for any TOEIC essay. It is in here. All right. If this is the correct order, if you mount the text, it's going to be like this. And the last paragraph, obviously, is the conclusion. But I want to ask you a question. The prompt says, is it better to work for yourself or for an employer? I repeat, is it better to work for yourself or an employer? Gabriel, what do you think?
About the question or about the sentence?
The question. So
My opinion, you mean?
how would you answer? To work for
Uh,
yourself or for an employer?
well, I tend to agree with the sentence of being self-employed is kind of dangerous. I choose the security and stability of working for someone else.
Okay. Anna, what do you think?
I agree with Gabriel, but I prefer work for myself because it give me more flexibility.
Okay, it gives me more flexibility. Good. Jorge, what do you think?
It depends from person to person, but personally, I would like to work for someone else.
Working for someone else. I prefer working for an employer as well. So the three of you said respectfully that you disagree with someone. That's what we are looking for. If we analyze your answers, my answers and the prompt. Conclusion for this essay? It is or it is not?
Yes, it's a right conclusion.
No, it is not. Is it answering? You said that although some people prefer, it can be dangerous. So you prefer working for an employer. Anna said that she agrees with you because you have your point, but she prefers working for herself because she has more flexibility. Jorge said it depends on the person, but he personally prefers working for someone else. If we analyze our 4 answers, saying that this is our opinion, is this conclusion? It is not. Why? Because when you say there is no clear answer to this question, you are not answering the question. You are saying, basically, this student is saying that his opinion, their opinion, that there is no answer. What is the conclusion of they say? None. Explain any argument at the end that there is no clear answer, you have not answered the task. Focusing especially on TOEIC.
It's kind of confusing, to be honest.
Because give a very silly example. Where are you from, Gabriel?
From Rondela, Galicia.
Like fish in general?
Sorry, I have a hard time hearing you. Sometimes your voice just cuts off.
Do you like fish in general?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know the names in English. Just a moment. Don't know.
I think what you're trying to say is called just calamari.
It could be calamari. Let's say calamari. Thank you. Gabriel, which dish do you prefer? Andalusian squid or calamari?
I would say calamari.
Why?
If I'm right when thinking about these 2 dishes, I think I like more the second one than the first one.
Okay. Are they both covered in flour?
I think not. The Andalusian, I think it's not covered in flour, but I'm not sure. To be honest, this exact dish is not. I'm not very familiar with it.
Okay. So they are both covered in flour.
Okay.
They have a different, as far as I know, well, maybe it is different where I live, but I'm just trying to give a very similar example of 2 dishes that basically calamares are squids. Salusa baby squid, cauliflower, and fried. So the original base of the plate is the same, but you will clearly have an opinion on what dish you like, right? Even though they are very similar, and even though people are free to prefer squid or calamari. This is what happens here. Cannot that there is no clear answer. There is a clear answer. The answer is not clear for this student. There is a clear answer. The student just decides not to say it. Agree
No.
with me? You may not agree with me, or many students watching will definitely not agree with me because we are used to other examinations.
So
In other,
you're talking about the conclusion of the text and not the conclusion of the student, if I'm following you right.
that's correct. So in any text, if you are giving the opportunity to write this essay, I would say I prefer working for an employer. You would say the same. Jorge would say the same, and Anna would say she prefers working for herself. The four of us clear opinion on the topic. This student decided to say that there is no clear answer to the question when there is a clear answer to the question.
Well,
Better
yeah,
now?
I think you can see it that way, and of course you are right. You know how this works, but I mean, his opinion is that there is no answer to this question, but we choose to give an answer to the question. But we are not right because we think this way. It's what I try to say.
Okay. Yeah, and I agree with you. To respect others' opinion, there are techniques for that. To see one of them in the video now. We can always say that there are advantages and the disadvantages of you must say what you think for yourself. So imagine that this guy here is offered a very successful business, a very salary. What would he do? I don't know what to do. Advantages and disadvantages? No, he would do something in the moment, in the moment of their lives, or the needs they have, or the flexibility they might need at that moment, whatever. But if this student was offered an excellent salary or very successful business, I have to pick one. He's not saying anything here. So let's watch the video, and you can interrupt as soon as you want or need, or you can take your notes and we can comment them at the end. I prefer you interrupt the video and we answer questions at the moment they pop up to your minds, okay? Let me share the screen. And let's go.
How to write the opinion essay, the final part of the TOEIC writing test. So in this video, we're going to go through the entire process of writing a TOEIC opinion essay. First, we're going to carefully read the task, go through the analysis and the planning process, then we'll look at a sample. And this will give you some ideas of how you can get a good score on test day. But before we get started, just a quick reminder that for the opinion essay, you need to write an essay with a minimum of 300 words, and you'll have 30 minutes to do this. That's 30 minutes total, meaning you will have 30 minutes to plan, write, and check your essay. Let's start by looking at today's essay question. So here we can see the instructions. You'll see these on test day, but it's always a good idea to read them carefully. The question is asking you to state, explain, and support your opinion on an issue, and to do so with 300 words. You'll be graded on whether or not your opinion is supported with reasons and or examples.
I will pause for a moment now. The first thing and most important is whether your opinion, whether or not your opinion supported with reasons and examples. So in the very beginning, you have already clear what your opinion is. Otherwise, you are going to have a very weak introduction and you're not going to argument properly.
Your grammar, vocabulary, and organization. Now, keep in mind, this doesn't just mean that you've written correct grammar and vocabulary. You want to make sure that you've effectively addressed the question and effectively supported your position with real reasons. Let's have a look at the essay prompt. Looking at the prompt, we see that first there is a context. Younger workers often look to older workers for advice as they have valuable wisdom and work experience to share. Yet the value of young workers' knowledge is often overlooked. So here they're stating that we usually don't value younger workers' knowledge in the workplace. Keep in mind that you can't really question this. You must accept it as true, even if you disagree with the premise. Back to the prompt.
I will pause. He says, you have to take this as true for you. In any moment, you're going to say, it is not true that young workers are often overlooked. Something that is true. It's one of the challenges of TOEIC essays, being able to emotionally manage writing about something you don't want to and that you may not agree with.
Question this. You must accept it as true, even if you disagree with the premise. Back to the prompt. Do you think there is nothing that young workers can teach older workers? Give reasons or examples to support your opinion. Okay, so the question is, do you think there is nothing that young workers can teach older workers? Yes or no? Can the younger ones teach the older ones? That is the question you must answer. So on testing, the first thing you'll want to do is brainstorm.
It's mandatory that you positionate on one of the two sides, or you can sum it up the pros and contras of both opinions.
You must decide.
Okay.
And make notes. Now, you only have 30 minutes total for this, so you'll have to be economical with your time. So first, it's best to take 3 minutes to brainstorm and make a plan. Let's start with brainstorming. Feel free to pause the video here and make some notes. When you're done, I'll show you my notes. Go ahead, pause for 1 minute, or take longer and see what comes to mind. Great. Let's have a look at my notes. So you can see here, I've got a clear position. Young workers can indeed teach older workers many things. Then I've got 2 points. The first is technology. Young people often have to help older people with new tech. And second, younger people often help older people understand what's going on in social movements and cultural changes. Great. So remember, it's your ideas. Now, at my job, to be honest, sometimes it's the opposite. Sometimes the older workers are more knowledgeable than the younger ones about technology. But as long as you support your ideas with clear examples, it will be fine. Your work might be very different from mine. Moving on. On test day, you will want to write with a clear structure. That structure will look something like this. You'll have 4 paragraphs, an introduction where you'll state your position, yes or no, 2 body paragraphs where you'll support and extend your positions, and then a conclusion where you'll wrap up your essay.
I will pause for a moment because he is presenting the 2 paragraphs structure. It is all right. You can build 2 paragraphs structures, 2 or 3 paragraphs. Do I normally run the classes with a 3 paragraphs structure? Because if you have 2 key points, you're gonna have very long paragraphs. And when you support and extend an idea about 1 key point, you may fall into repetition. So if the student has plenty of specific vocabulary, you can go for 2 paragraphs. If you prefer to play more with the grammar and complex structures, not needing that much variety of vocabulary, you should choose the 3 body paragraphs structure because it's easier not to fall into repetition. Okay? But again, there is nothing wrong with 2 or 3, as long as you write minimum of 300 words. Questions?
So let's make a plan. I recommend taking 2 minutes to write your plan, but take longer if you need to. You have quite a lot of time to write the essay, so the longer you take to brainstorm and make a plan, the easier it will be to write. Okay, so on test day, we recommend you take no more than 3 minutes to brainstorm and plan your essay. If you're confident with your writing, however, take more. But don't feel pressure to start writing immediately. It's best to have ideas first. If you have ideas, you'll be able to write much faster. Trust me, I've spent years watching students, and they often start writing quickly, and then after 5 minutes, they stop writing because they struggle to think of ideas. Remember, ideas first, then write. 2 quick reminders. First, write with the criteria in mind. This can be a lot to remember. My advice is this: focus on the clarity of your argument, develop and support your position, answer all parts of the question, and present a consistent position and extend your ideas. Then remember to use a proper, clear structure. Use paragraphs, an introduction, 2 or more body paragraphs, and a conclusion. That's going to cover most of the important points of the essay. And remember, the more you focus on extending and developing your ideas, the easier it will be to use complex grammar and more advanced vocabulary. Some of these words might help you to remember how to write advanced grammar. Words like if, even though, while, and because are important if you're aiming for a high score, and they are a great place to start. But keep in mind that we use these words to express complex ideas. So if you haven't brainstormed and developed your ideas yet, it's going to be harder to use these. And make sure you get lots of practice. Also, be sure on test day to leave 2 minutes to check your essay for spelling, grammar, or punctuation errors. Catching a few errors could have an impact on your score. Now, I'm going to go through a sample essay, but feel free to pause the video and write your own essay. Otherwise, here we go. Here's my intro. Now, one of the key elements of a good TOEIC score is having a clear argument. This is accomplished here with the last sentence of my introduction. There are many areas in which young workers have knowledge that they can share with older generations.
Okay, I'm gonna pause. Is it clear what he thinks? He think they can teach or they cannot teach?
They can.
Yes, Jorge. Anna, do you agree with Jorge?
Yes.
Okay, so even though he's not repeating something from the prompt, can young workers teach blah blah? He's not using the same words, so he's already wide variety of vocabulary. There are many areas where they have knowledge that they can share each older generations instead of workers.
So I disagree with the idea that there is nothing that younger people can bring to the table. Next, my body paragraphs will support this argument. Let's look at the body paragraphs one at a time. Start with the first sentence of each paragraph, or the topic sentence. Each of them states a clear point that supports the argument. In the first paragraph, perhaps the most obvious area in which young workers have something to offer is in the field of technology. So, young people help with technology. Then the rest of the paragraph uses a range of sentence structures and vocabulary to support this idea, and it's all accurate. In the second paragraph, it says, the other area in which young workers can educate older generations, although they may not always be receptive, is in matters of social movements and cultural shifts. So, young people can help older people better understand modern culture. And once again, a range of grammar and vocabulary has been used, and it's all correct.
Okay, he's saying that a wide range of vocabulary and complex grammar and everything is correct and accurate. Yes. Look at the length of these paragraphs. Massive. Again, with the variety of vocabulary. He starts this paragraph with can educate older generations. And in the previous one, he says that they have something to offer. He didn't use teach, and he didn't use have knowledge like he did in introduction. That's already four to say the same thing. Wide variety of vocabulary, not to fall into repetition. Oh, I think he was here, right?
And it's all correct. Now, of course, you may be worried about grammar and vocabulary, but don't be. The most important thing to do is practice. Work on reducing the errors that you make, and you'll get the best possible result you can. Remember, you can make grammar mistakes in this test and still get a good score, but you must keep that number down. Finally, I have my conclusion. A brief review of what I said. By the way, I love the way this conclusion uses even though at the beginning to show that yes, the older generations will continue to give us useful advice and guidance, but this by no means means that young people have nothing to share. And that's it. You must have a clear position that is well organized and has a range of sentence structures and vocabulary that are as accurate as you can make them. Good luck.
All right. Just one more comment
at the
here on
beginning-
the conclusion, especially focusing on Gabriel, because it's probably the style he wants to use in the writings. I don't know if I am mistaken or not. So the previous example in the document. So that conclusion didn't offer you a solution, just offered you this, right? But in here, even presenting his respect to a different opinion, at the end, he is clearly stating that young people have much to share. Okay? This might be a good draft for your conclusions in general. Questions? No questions? All right. So, I shared when I didn't mean to. I wanted to do this. Okay. Then, after all this, I will say two things. Exercises from here to here should be done for Wednesday morning. In your case, Wednesday at 5:30. Whatever it is your class time, that's when you have this homework to be done, because you are going to enter the document asynchronous work day, and you are going to find the explanations and answer keys to all the exercises. So this would be your homework. It shouldn't take you more than 10-12 minutes. And now we are going to focus more into focus on the introduction. Like any academic essay, if there are no questions, I will continue. Like any academic essay, an ideal essay for TOEIC will have an introduction, a body, ideally formed by 3 paragraphs, one for each key point mentioned in the introduction, and a conclusion. Again, this is my style of writing. There is nothing wrong with writing 2 paragraphs or even 4. We need a minimum of 300 words, but we should not exceed 330, 340, so that it doesn't make it much longer than needed. Remember, each part has its subparts. Let's have a closer look at them separately. Focus now into the introduction. Remember that I have mentioned many times, every text has to be organized and structured with introduction, body, conclusion. And your introduction will have 3 parts: hook, introduction, key points, body, thesis statement, conclusion. Let's have a look at them. So everything is just thing or longer. Jorge, can you please read from introduction to the end of number 1?
Okay. Introduction. You present the discussion topic, mention your 3 key points, and launch a thesis statement. An introduction has 3 parts, which are 1. Hook. An essay hook, also known as an attention grabber, is the opening line or paragraph of an essay designed to capture the reader's attention and encourage them to continue reading. It should be engaging, relevant to the topic, and spark curiosity about the essay's content.
Thank you. So, do you know the translation for hook, Jorge?
Gancho.
Gancho. Right. So we are gonna hook our reader, trying to spark their curiosity with a nice sentence. What can I use to do that? If I am not, sorry, if I am not into writing, if I don't like writing, more specifically, if I hate writing, how can I do that? If I normally don't have inspiration to write, you can use your own prompt into your own benefit, as long as you use different vocabulary. Okay? We are gonna get into that afterwards. Anna. Can you read number 2 for us?
2. Key points, also known as background information, evidence, or topic areas. Some examples of starters for background information are historically, previously, in the past. How do you transition from hook to background information? Transition smoothly. Use phrases like to understand or this concept originated from to connect the hook to your background information. Keep it concise. Focus on the most relevant details that provide context for your main point. Don't provide any explanation about your key points because you will explain them in the body. 1 paragraph for each key point is ideal.
Thank you. So very important. Don't explain anything in here. You are supposed to mention and state whatever you're going to talk about. And one paragraph per key point is ideal so that we keep it occasional enough. Okay? Questions? And the last one for Gabriel. Number 3.
Thesis statement. This is the third sentence of your introduction and the last. Building a compelling argumentative thesis statement is important. Keep it concise. Aim for 1 or 2 sentences. Use strong verbs that convey your stance. For example, urge, necessitate, propose, etc. Ensure your thesis directly relates to the essay prompt. A thesis statement is a concise declaration of the main argument or point of an essay. It usually appears in the introduction and provides a roadmap for the rest of the paper, outlining the central idea and scope of the discussion. A strong thesis is focused, specific, and presents a clear position on the topic.
Okay. So the thesis is your opinion itself. Okay. If we look at the video, I would like Jorge to tell me what is the hook here. Can you read only the hook for me, please?
Traditionally, older employees of a company are considered to be the wisest and therefore most suitable age group to teach younger workers.
Thank you. That's correct. Did you notice that this is only one sentence?
Yes, I know this.
Only one full stop. Then, Anna, can you read the key point for us?
Some would even claim that young people have notice of value to impart to those older than them.
Okay. Do you think the key points are here?
No, I think it's the third paragraph.
So what he explained, that's why if you use only 2 key points, even for the teacher, it's hard because he's gonna explain what the second key point is in the thesis statement itself. I think that Gabriel will read the thesis statement and he's gonna agree with me that it begins impersonally because it is obviously where you need to state your opinion, and he is presenting his opinion as the key point at the same time. So this is like an improvable version.
Agreed. Personally, however, I feel that there are many areas in which young workers have knowledge that they can share with older generations.
Okay. Can you tell me what do you think he could have done instead of saying many areas?
Other areas?
But do you think he should have briefly mentioned the areas?
Specific areas on the introduction. Yeah.
Right.
He could do that.
Uh-huh. And where should those areas be mentioned? In the thesis or in the key points sentence?
I think he should mention in the key point sentence.
And you are correct. Again, we wouldn't need more than one sentence to do that. That's why we practice long sentences with semicolons and commas, so that in this part of the test, you can even have whatever, 5 key points, as long as you mention them very briefly. Questions? Feel free to ask anything, guys. Because writing is something very personal. We have to feel comfortable with what we write. I know it's difficult because TOEIC is very demanding. Probably now students are getting out of the comfort zones they have been used to. So please make sure that you ask all your questions, okay? All right. If there are no more questions, let's go into the brainstorming and outlining. Remember that he says, and I even mentioned even for the emails, that we should never start writing. Start writing. So I am going to present you with 4 different prompts for you to write the introductions here. First of all, you need access. Jorge, Ana. No, Ana, I never remember this.
The third.
Ana and Gabriel. This?
.co Outlook, yeah, that one.
Okay. All right. So, and I will do something different because you can copy this into your document, but I want to paste it for you at the same time because I am going to give you the 6 minutes that you need to brainstorm and write the introductions, okay? So let me prepare it. I have the bank, but I don't have 3 together. So give me 1 sec. And is that third? And one more thing that I forgot to mention. Remember that even TOEIC prompts bring grammar mistakes. Be careful. Do not fall into the traps. And paste here. Okay, I have 3. I'm afraid I'll have to choose for you, right? So I'm gonna write one for, just as I can see you here. So this one is Jorge. Second is Ana. And third is Gabriel. Okay, are you ready? Copy. First of all, I need to share the 6 minutes timer. Just quickly revising. Hook, present a topic. You can use the prompt, but with different vocabulary. Second sentence, the key points. You can have 2, 3. It's up to you. And third sentence in the introduction is your thesis statement, where you clearly say what your opinion is without giving any explanations of anything. So I will share only the timer, and I will paste it into here. All right, no interaction. Good luck. All right. Let me share. Please, I need you to copy and paste your intros right now here. Okay. This is Gabriel. Ana and Jorge.
I haven't finished.
It's all right. But I need you to copy there and paste everything that you have done so far. It is all right. Okay. If you got blocked and you didn't write anything, it is all right. But if you wrote even a sentence, I need it there. Okay.
I don't have much more.
It's all right. Okay. It is already 7 o'clock. I know these classes are quite, I don't say boring because I love them. So, but I can understand if the students say they are boring. Okay. But I agree, they are intense and they are very tiring. So after 6 hours doing the same, you can understand that I am tired as well, right? So I will take a 15 minutes break. I'll have some water or something, and then I'll be back and try to correct everything for tonight. As I need to upload the classes to the platform, I can correct the introductions that you have just written. I guarantee that you can enter the document in the morning after 10 o'clock in the morning, and you will have it corrected already. What I normally do, I create a color key code, and the prompts are already in green. I will turn your writings into orange, and I will copy and paste it, the correct version in purple right below it. Okay? So then you keep your original, and you can see the changes that were made or not.
I found a typo in mine.
Say that again.
I found a typo in mine. The word that is underlined in red, it lacks a genitive. Apostrophe and S.
Like this.
I forgot, I missed it when I was writing it and got it right after pasting it.
All right, but you knew that it was there.
Exactly.
Okay, good for you. All right, guys. Sorry, I don't want Gabriel to be traumatized after the first class because I can see he's not very excited, but it is what it is, Mr. Gabriel.
No, I'm a little bit sleepy, but I find they're very interactive. It's really challenging the fact that we are fighting against the clock. I'm not used to that. I'm fairly good at writing and all that stuff, but with unlimited time, you know.
I know. It is. That's why it's so important to work from the very beginning with the timers so you get used to it. But after some practice, you will get it. All right? Okay, guys, let's rest a little bit. I will try to correct today. If not, I will correct tomorrow morning before 10 o'clock because I start the classes at 10 o'clock and then I won't have time during the day. But I promise to have it corrected for tomorrow. All right? So I hope you can rest. And remember, there are no classes on Wednesday because as the classes are so massive and so intense in different content, especially out of the comfort zone, as Gabriel well said, that's why we need asynchronous work. If we keep on that rhythm every class, the students are not going to come back to the class. Okay? So today is we are not going to meet until next Monday, but on Wednesday morning, I will be pasting more activities for you regarding introductions. I know it is not what we want, but I strongly recommend you to do at least 7, 8 different introductions. And after you do that, you share your document with me again, and I will correct them asynchronously. That's why I also need asynchronous work. Otherwise, I don't have time to correct. Okay? I wish you a restful Tuesday tomorrow without English. Don't touch the document, please. And you can be back on Wednesday. Well, you can touch the document just to check your corrections, but don't do anything else because I don't want you overstressed and overtired, so that you can be more productive when your asynchronous work is posted on Wednesday. All right? Okay, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for coming, and see you next Monday.
See you next week.
Bye.
See you.
Lucy, I would like to ask you a question off record. It's about my
Just
personal
okay.
situation.
Just let me stop the recording then, okay? All right, guys. Bye-bye.